and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And today is the first video I am filming on my new camera. So this isn't the first video that's going up, but this is the first video I'm filming on my new camera because I need to sort out my book corner. I've got piles of books behind this chair, so I just can't go anywhere. So I'm filming my Christmas book haul. So that I can have a little rearrange of here, because look, this is looking sad, isn't it? But you hopefully have seen some videos before this sad looking video with some nice looking shelves. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 books for Christmas. And I've also bought myself a few, which is rather a lot. So I thought that we'll just get this haul done and then everyone can see the amazing books I've got for Christmas. So I will start with the ones that I've bought myself or the ones that I've recently been sent by a publisher, because I got sent some. I'm so used to looking down here as well, I need to start looking into the camera. How very informal this video is of me just coming to terms with my new camera. I thought I would show you the books that I've been bought for myself recently and also been sent from the publisher. So the first one I got is a little vintage mini by Nigella Lawson. It is called Eating. So it is a book which I believe is just her thoughts on food and things like this. They had a whole selection of these in a bookshop in Hammersmith train station. Nice. And there was also one by Louisa May Alcott about sisters, so I bought that for my sister for Christmas, and I just treated myself to this because I really like these little cute little minis, and I just thought it'd be good. And they're only £3.50 each, so very exciting. I don't know if they're going to be in focus. How do I know, David, if these are going to be in focus?
You should be able to see if it's in focus.
I think it's in focus. So that's yeah, no, because I'm looking at my viewfinder myself. Oh, we're all coming to terms to this together. Right, that's the first one.
Did you read the title of the book on
the
camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that.
The next one is one that I got delivered today. It only came out yesterday, and that is How to Be Vegan. This is sponsored by the Veganuary people. So as you may know, I'm taking part in Veganuary. I am hoping to become a vegan in January. David, you having a beer?
No, it's a Coke.
Oh, it's a Coke. I'm hoping to become a vegan in January, seeing how I get on with some vegan bits and hoping to take them through to the rest of the year. So I've already had a quick flick through this at David's parents' house. The first thing I enjoyed is that it's got a foreword by Luna Lovegood herself, and then I also had a quick flick through about sort of myths about veganism and how to do it. And yeah, I feel like this is going to be really, really interesting. It's also, I noticed at the back, it's got a further reading section, which is something I'm really interested in. And yeah, I feel like I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be really, really helpful for me, and I'm going to start this as soon as possible. The next three are books sent to me by Serpent's Tail. The first one, these are all proofs, I believe. Oh no, one's finished. One's a finished copy and one's two are proofs. The first one is Ruby Tando's Eat Up. I'm not sure what this is going to look like eventually. This is a cookbook. However, when I flicked through, there's a lot of information about food and how you should eat food and what you should do. I believe there's also going to be some recipes in here. I can see, for instance, back to basics potato curry and things like this. So I'm not sure what it's going to look like. But Ruby Tando is she was a contestant on the Great British Bake Off, which is a baking competition that we show here on the telly in the UK, and afterwards she sort of became a bit of a political activist on Twitter and things like that, and she put out the idea for this, and Serpent's Tail got hold of it and said it would be a great idea. And yeah, it says here, so this is the tagline of it, which, sorry, David's just opening his 60p selection box that he's just bought in Sainsbury's. Oh, they're going in there. So it says here, the tagline says, drawing on the wisdom of Nora Ephron and Gemma from Towie and referencing everything from Moonlight to The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Eat Up will make you laugh, think and fall back in love with food. So I feel like this, I feel very excited about this.
I like it, sound interested.
David's interested in it as well. They also sent me the finished copy of After Me Comes the Flood, which is a book by Sarah Perry, who also wrote The Essex Serpent. I really enjoyed The Essex Serpent. I read it earlier this year and it was in my best books of the first half of 2017. It didn't quite make it into the best books of 2017, but I had some amazing books read in the last half. But this is very exciting, and it's about a chap called John Cole, who decides to leave his life behind, and he also runs a bookshop, and then Here we go. I will read it to you. The bookshop he runs is deserted, so he shutters it, gets into his car and starts to drive. Soon he is lost, and when his car breaks down on an isolated country road, he goes looking for help and stumbles into the grounds of a grand but dilapidated house. Its residents welcome him with open arms, but there's more to this strange community than meets the eye. They all know him by name and claim to have been waiting for him for days. Who are these people, and what do they intend for John? So this is the debut that Sarah Perry wrote, so this is before The Essex Serpent came out, so sounds very gothic and exciting. And then this is another one sent to me by Serpent's Tail. This is The Word for Woman is Wilderness, a novel by Abby Andrews. This is, it says here, I mean, I'm going to love this. The feminist adventure story the world has been waiting for. That is exciting. I'm not sure when it's out. February 2018, so I really want to read this before it's due out so I can hopefully get excited about it. It says, Erin is 19, she's never really left England, but she has watched Bear Grylls and wonders why it's always men who get to go off on the cool wilderness adventures. So Erin sets off on a voyage to the Alaskan wilderness, a one-woman challenge to the archetype of the rugged male explorer. As Erin's journey takes her through the Arctic Circle, across the entire breadth of the American continent, and finally to a lonely cabin in the wilds of Denali, she explores subjects such as diverse as the moon landings, the gay hypothesis, loneliness, nuclear war, shamanism and the pill. Oh my god, I feel very excited about that. So yeah, I'm definitely, I don't know if that's a novel. Yeah, it's a novel. It says a novel on the front. And then the last one was one that was sent to me unsolicited.
So,
this
you just want
one sausage roll, please. Yeah, David's just popping me in some Linda McCartney sausage rolls with phones going off. It's all happening. The next one was one sent to me unsolicited by Pam McMillan. This is The Wife Between Us, and in between each of those words it says, she's not who you think she is. And this is by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. So two novels here, and this came in a sort of box that was had a red lipstick in and a mirror, and on the mirror said, oh my god, that twist, and it had some chocolate in it and things like that. So I feel like this is out again in February 2018. And it says here, when you read this book, you will make many assumptions. It's about a jealous life obsessed with her replacement. It's about a younger woman set to marry the man she loves. The first wife seems like a disaster. Her replacement is the perfect woman. You will assume you know the motives, the history, the anatomy of the relationships. You will be wrong. This is a novel about the dangerous truths we ignore in the name of love. So yeah, it sounds like a thriller. I'm not really mad into thrillers, but I feel like I'm keen to read in 2018. I may already have said this, depending on when this video goes up, that I am keen to read some new releases as and when, or even just slightly before they come out. So hopefully would like to read this potentially in January. And then the next are all books that I got for Christmas. I'm just going to turn them around so I can do them. Oh god, there's so many. I was so delighted to get so many books for Christmas. It was amazing. I will start with 3 that I've already either read or started on. No, actually there's quite a few that I've already read or started on. So the one that I picked up this morning and I started reading is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. So I've heard a lot about this on BookTube. It's been very, very popular. What I've read of it so far, and I'm very much enjoying it. So although I say I've heard a lot about this on BookTube, I've just heard that it's been very well received and people have really enjoyed it. What I've read so far is that a family has woken up and their house has been burnt to the ground, and that was due to little fires everywhere throughout the house. And so far they're suspecting the oldest daughter to have been a part of this. She's disappeared, and then now we've gone sort of to one of the sons. We're looking back on his relationship with the daughter of a woman who was renting a house from the mother of the house that's burnt down. Blah 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 blah. Sounds complicated, it's not. I'm really enjoying it. I'm 32 pages in. I did a really quick read of it this morning with breakfast and then while I was drying my hair. It does say here, so Jodie Picoult, who's written many books, says, I read Little Fires Everywhere in a single breathless sitting. And this does feel like the sort of book that I could read in one sitting. Now I'm aware I'm not reading it in one sitting because I'm here talking to you about it, but oh, they don't match. Oh, I bought 2 pasta bowls thinking they matched and they didn't. Oh, they're well, it's not too bad though, is it? It'll be alright. I bought 2 grey pasta bowls thinking they already matched our pasta bowls and they don't. So yeah, so I already started reading this, very much enjoying it. The next one is one that I finished, and guys, I think my best books of 2017 may already been out, but I think this is going to be in it. It is The Standing Chandelier by Lionel Shriver. David got me this as my Secret Santa. We did Secret Santa around his parents' house. And this is a little novella by Lionel Shriver, and I've only read one other book by Lionel Shriver, which was The Post-Birthday World. I feel like I'm really sitting up straight. I could relax a bit. it. This is Standing Chandelier, which is about a friendship between two characters, Gillian Frisk and Weston, and I can't say his surname, but it's like Baba something, and she calls him Baba. So two friends, Frisk and Baba, who are male and female. They've previously had a relationship, sexual relationship twice before, and now Baba has a new girlfriend who is going to become his wife, and about if men and women can ever really truly be friends. Now Frisk is a character who, she says, I mean, I quite liked her. There's a few moments in it where I thought, oh, she's a bit too much, but she is, you hear about her life, like this is all done in such a small amount of, it's amazing, it's 120 something pages, and there's so much from this. This is like a bloody wrap up, I should just be telling you what's going on. So yeah, and then Frisk is an artist, and she makes a piece of art called the Standing Chandelier, which she wants to give to Baba and his new wife as a wedding present, and it's just sort of like dealing with that, but really, really good. And I will talk about this more in when I'm wrapping up, but my god, love this. I read it in a day, really, really loved it. The next one is one that I've also started. This was also from David. This is 100 Nasty Women of History by Hannah Jewell. Last year I said to David, as one of my Christmas presents, I'd like him to just go into a bookshop and pick a book for me, just based on like not something that I've said I really want or anything like that, just something that I've sort of been like, oh, I've liked this. And he picked me last year, he picked Letters from Boy, which was a Roald Dahl collection of letters that he'd written his mother over his lifetime. This year he picked 100 Nasty Women of History by Hannah Jewell. I'd seen this and hadn't really looked much into it. Now I have read and loved Good Night Stories for Rebel Girls, which is basically a children's version of this. The language in this is obscene, which obviously I love, and it's just talking about, so I've only read the first 4 women. One of my favourite ones was about Bridget of Kildare, who's an Irish saint, and now something here. So this will give you a feel for how the book is written, because it is amazing. Bridget proved she should be both sainted and remembered as an absolute lad when she once turned water into beer for an entire leper colony. Sorry, Jesus, some people just prefer beer. Another time she created enough beer for 18 churches worth of legends from one beer barrel. Today she is one of Ireland's patron saints, and also now yours, you absolute bantosaurus. And it's just sort of like that sort of level of hilarity throughout. So I've only read the first 4. This is going to be one that I'm going to dip into throughout a long time because I'm just loving it so much, but really, really funny, loving this. The next book is a book that David's mum got me. It is a vegan cookbook, 15-minute vegan, which I'd never even heard of. Now, I've been through this. It's by Katie Bextow, and as you can see, I've already made a list of things that I need to buy because I'm so impressed with this cookbook. So one thing I did find out when looking at vegan recipes, I tell you, there's an awful lot of curry. Now, I love curry and really enjoy it, but I don't want to eat curry for the rest of my life as a vegan. What I found amazing straight away in this book is that the first curry in this book doesn't appear to page page 98, and there is only one curry in this whole book, which is amazing. It's also really quick stuff, and also stuff that I would have in my, I mean, just flicking through here. So first of all, this is a breakfast recipe, grilled grapefruit. This is a bad example because I don't actually like grapefruit. Let's flick again. Piri piri bean grill, filled mushroom and red pepper fajitas. They've got a whole chapter on sweet stuff, and yeah, it's just easy. She's also got a blog that I'm going to really get into as well. But yeah, I found this really, like, I've been flicking through this basically every day since I've got it, and there's so much stuff in there I want to try. The next book is also a book that I've had dealings with, and then the rest I haven't really had much to do with since I've got them. But this is The World Cup of Everything by Richard Osman. Now this, my friend Emma bought me this, and this is a really fun idea for a book. It's really interactive and enjoyable. David and I have done the first section. So basically it is pitting people's favourite items against one another to come up with the best version of that item. So David and I have done the World Cup of Chocolate. Now when we were doing the World Cup of Chocolate, we decided in the end that the best chocolate bar was a Whisper. Now I love a Whisper, so I was delighted about that. The final was Kit Kat Chunky against Whisper, but it's got whole sections in here: British bands, crisps, restaurants, Christmas films, Christmas songs, drinks, Disney, British sitcoms, American sweets, all sorts of stuff. And I feel like this is going to bring us. So there was just David and I doing it yesterday, but tomorrow we've got some friends coming around, and I feel like maybe we might do the World Cup of Crisps or something like that tomorrow, because that'll be exciting. I also got this, The Invisible Child and the Third Tree by Tove Jansson from my cousin Laura. Now what I was thrilled about is that the full £4.99 from each sale of this book goes to Oxfam projects supporting women and girls worldwide, and it also has lovely little Moomin stories in there with some really nice illustrations and a gorgeous front cover. And then this book I got from, so these, I believe these are my birthday presents from Simon, but I can't not show you this here, and that is Happy Christmas, a short story by Daphne du Maurier, which I haven't read, and I feel like I'm going to treat myself and read it on the run up to next Christmas. This is a short story, and he had to buy this from a second-hand bookseller. It's really, really short. It is 30 pages long. I've just seen the last line is Happy Christmas, Happy Christmas. And this is, yeah, it's got illustrations. There's not much text on the page and things like that, but really informal. And he bought it secondhand. It says here, Clara from Dad, Bristol, April 89. Look, that's nice. I don't know if you can see that. Can I focus on it? Yeah, look. Oh, wow. I'm getting good at this focusing thing. So yeah, that's so I'm very, very excited about that. So that is a twist to the Christmassy story. So very, very excited about that. David's mum got me a selection of books. The first one being Norwegian Wood by Murakami. I've only read one Murakami before. I can't remember what it was called. Colourless Tsuzuki and the something Pilgrim. Something. This is about Toru Watanabe hearing her favourite Beatles song and is recalling his first love, Naoko. So yeah, very excited about that. Also, this is weird because I saw this and David actually took a photo of this for himself, but when I read the back of it I was like, oh, I would like that, and then I ended up getting it. This was in my stocking from David's mum. The Guest Cat by Takashi Hiradi, which is beautiful. It's got French flaps, and it is about a couple in their 30s living in a small rented cottage in Tokyo, and one day a cat comes into their life and sort of makes them start talking again, makes them have a relationship again, which is amazing. I really like these eyes on this book here, so yeah, very excited about that. I've also got The Glassblowers by Daphne du Maurier, so another one of my Daphne du Maurier, to add to my Daphne du Maurier collection with this gorgeous spine. This is, no, it's not. I thought it was short stories, but it's not. It is about Sophie Duval and telling her long-lost nephew the tragic tale of a family of master craftsmen in 18th century France. The world of the Glassblowers has its own traditions, its own languages, and its own rules. If you marry into glass, Pierre Lab warns his daughter, you will say goodbye to everything familiar and enter a closed world. Interesting. That pile is getting a bit precarious. It's sorted. And then she also got me, oh god, this is so heavy, a gorgeous penguin cloth bound classic. This is Middlemarch by George Eliot. It is humongous. David's mum has been kind enough to get me a cloth bound classic every Christmas since I've known her, so I'm getting quite the collection, which is lovely, and they all just look gorgeous. Not sure when I'll get around to reading this, but I would like to read Middlemarch at some point, but god, maybe like when I've done a bit of upper body work, because that is so heavy. This one is from the lovely Mercedes, and that is Icebreaker, A Voyage Far North by Horatio Clare. When Mercedes and I went to Daunt Books earlier this year, she was saying how much she wanted this, and I took a photo of her reading it thinking, oh, I'll get her that for Christmas, and then completely forgot, and then turns out she got it for me, so wonderful. This is a message from the Finnish embassy launches Horatio Clare on a voyage around an extraordinary country and an unearthly place, the frozen Bay of Bothinia, just short of the Arctic Circle. Travelling with the crew of icebreaker Otso, Horatio, whose last adventure saw him embedded on Maersk container vessels for the bestseller Down to the Sea of Ships, discovers stories of Finland, of her mariners, and of ice. So yeah, very excited about that. Simon also got me The Christmas Chronicles by Nigella. This is another really, really heavy one. This is not only recipes, so it's not only recipes. Oh, what's that? What is that? Toasted mincemeat sandwich. Hubba hubba. It's also sort of short stories and little bits of writing to do with his relationship with Christmas and things like that. I'm going to read this on the run up to Christmas 2018. Doing a lot of that, aren't I? Planning things for Christmas 2018 already. I saw Liv from the Book Nook talk about her best books of 2017, and this appeared there. I didn't manage to get my hands on this, but my boyfriend's mum had it, and I had a quick flick through, and now I'm absolutely delighted to own it and to be able to read it next year, so I feel very excited. And I mean, it's just a piece of beauty, isn't it? And then I also have, these are really, really heavy books. Marie Laforet's Vegan Bible. This was from my friends Kate and Alex. This is really impressive because it's not only recipes. It's got things in here about Satan, and like this whole section, for instance, is about textured soy protein, and yeah, it's a really in-depth vegan book with a big nice sweet section at the back. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to having a work through here and pulling things out there. God, I've just looked at that, I don't even know what that is. Potato and olive oil puree, pan-fried beetroot and unpeeled garlic. That's like gorgeous. So yeah, very, very excited to look through that. I also got another cookbook from David's parents. That is The Sportsman by Stephen Harris. Now, The Sportsman is a restaurant that David and I have been to many times. We often go for our anniversary. We didn't go this year, did we, David? Couldn't get the we had it booked and we couldn't go. And the food is absolutely out of this world. Now, I've been and had, we often have the tasting menu, and I've been and had the pescatarian tasting menu. Now, obviously being a vegetarian, potentially vegan, there are things in here that I won't eat. However, it is the first sort of half of the book is his story, which has got absolutely beautiful photography on how he came about finding the building for The Sportsman, and his journey of learning to cook and things like that. And then the rest, it's almost like a coffee table book. Like, it's still got, but I tell you what it has got in here, which is something that David and I both said we absolutely adored. It's like a red cabbage, it's potted red cabbage. I'm seeing if I can find it now. Potted red cabbage with, like, oh, here it is. Pot roast red cabbage. And it comes with creme fraiche and like a stewed apple mustard dressing. It's amazing. So that is definitely something that I will be making. And then the last two books are from David's mum, which is this one, which is Calligraphy for Dummies. I said I'm getting into to bullet journaling this year. I'm already getting quite into it. I'm quite pleased with myself about it. And David's mum, I said I wanted to get into calligraphy. So David's mum bought me a calligraphy pen and then this book, which I'm going to work my way through. And oh no! All my books have fallen over. And then the last book I got is Where's the Unicorn? A Magical Search and Find book, which was from David's sister Kelly, which I've been very much enjoying. So it's sort of scenes
probably
like
your
this.
Most important book.
Yeah, I sat and read this on Christmas Day. So 2, 4, 6, in each page is 7 different coloured unicorns, which you have to find. It's just a nice thing to do. So, oh, those are the books that I got in and around the time of Christmas. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know what books you got for Christmas. Would be very interesting to see them. Hopefully you're liking the new camera. I probably already mentioned it about 12 times. So it's just because I'm filming videos out of order. I'm filming videos like because I want to put things away. So hopefully you're enjoying the new camera, and I will see you all again soon for another booktube video.